Carl Jung said, there is no coming to consciousness without pain. So we're talking about like how to have better mechanisms to deal with your pain holistically. But at the same time, if you are entering into conscious relationship with your pain, that's painful. It's just painful to shift from an unconscious relationship to a conscious relationship. And so that just has to be, I could tell you this, you could read about it, you could hear about it through other people, but it's not going to be anything like actually experiencing it. But
to bring about any growth or transformation in ourselves, there is going to be a necessary dose of pain, because kind of like your old self is dying in a way. You know, it's being killed off. It's like a phoenix, right? It goes up in flames, but then a new you arises from the ashes of that. But do you agree that I have this idea that we pick our poison, essentially, because you can either suffer the pain of these patterns and this nervous system conditioning that you've been living within and you've had no idea of, right? You either suffer that pain, the pain of unconsciousness, or you get the choice of the pain of consciousness, which is breaking free of that, like breaking out of that shackles and in a way making yourself go up in flames, right? So it's not just like pain is down the path we want to take in life. Like there is pain down both paths, but one pain you take on voluntarily and that makes your life better, in my opinion, and makes you more psychologically and spiritually free. And the other path is painful in itself, but it's more like a slow pain that you might not realize is hitting you until you sort of get to a point of your life where like you're like, damn, I've never really been that happy, you know. And I think that's something important for people to know, is like, if something is hard, it's usually worth doing, right? If it's hard and you do it voluntarily, that can be something physical like exercise, that can be something psychological like having a difficult conversation with a friend, or something spiritual like questioning whether you actually want the things you think you want, right? But if you don't do that hard thing voluntarily, you're going to be given a dose of hard things involuntarily by life. You're going to follow a path you don't want. You're not going to be in good health. You're not going to have strong, meaningful relationships. So yes, it's painful, but it's sort of a dose of pain that you take on, and that has an overall positive outcome. Like that gratification is delayed, but it's there and it's real.
Yeah, I really like that. I really like the dichotomy that you portrayed there. I was reminded of two sources when you were saying that. One being the Matrix, where everyone is sort of sleeping through life. That which is a certain kind of pain that I would say is like the pain of ignorance. You don't really realize that that's what's happening. You're just sleeping through life. So I had that image when you were describing what you were describing. And another thing I thought of was the way that you described the consciously taking on the pain is actually how Jordan Peterson describes the true meaning of Christianity. And he's described this in many lectures that he's done on the Bible, but he said that like that's actually the true sort of like spiritual message of Jesus bearing the cross. It's like voluntarily subjecting yourself to the pain of becoming conscious, which actually results in a transformation of your very being.